lot of excitement. Obviously, we've made our intentions to move into the electric field extremely clear. We've already kind of spoken about our first electric SUV, the ID Cross, and expanding this whole electric family for us is super exciting. I think most of you would have also seen the ID Buzz on TV in the commercial, so we're also keenly interested in that. And the Space Vision, I think, is just an extension of the ID family, a completely different body style, significantly larger than probably our A entry SUV, and really just from a design perspective, completely futuristic. Yeah, beautiful lights all around the vehicle, a really premium interior, some very interesting bits and pieces. I think if you listen to Klaus speak last night too, the interior is made of an apple skin vegan leather. So really just a massive leap forward, just a futuristic leap forward into the future. And I think the real excitement is everyone really wants the vehicle right now. I think talking to some of the press guys around the car last night, it's like, wow, this is awesome. Let's get it right now. You know, so I think now the wait is going to kill us a little bit. Gasoline vehicles remain a very important leg of obviously our strategy for quite some period of time. But we really hedged a lot of our chips into the electric vehicles. We haven't really gone large into plug-in hybrids and hybrid powertrains. And we see the future in the automotive industry really in the electric car market, and that's why we've put a lot of our chips into electric cars, and why we're probably studying a family of at least 3 to 4 electric vehicles by kind of 2025. If you listen to Scott's speech last night, he was talking about, I think by 2025 having roughly 20 to 25 vehicles in the Volkswagen group. So the guys have really, the group has made a very big push into electric vehicles, and as you've stated, I mean, this is number 7, and we haven't even launched the first one. What we're also trying to do, and that's what the MEB platform really gives us the ability to do, is to build flexible body styles. So the MEB platform gives us that level of flexibility. I've mentioned already an SUV. ID Buzz, you can see, is kind of more of a, kind of, I think, reflective of an old, van or combi. So something that can really seat a lot more passengers. This, I think, is probably more aimed at kind of your BC segment, sedan/wagon type customer. It's not 100% clear exactly yet in which form we would offer this car. We probably think that maybe for the United States, maybe a more crossover type vehicle, I think, would be pretty cool. So again, really just a car that's kind of hitting the 300-mile mark, 0 to 60 potentially in around 5 seconds out of the 82 kilowatt battery. And obviously, I think if you look at the interior of this car, it's really upscaled. So I would probably say this is kind of probably targeted more at your BC sedan, wagon type customer, who's probably even potentially coming out of one of the more premium brands today. We've got a whole host of team members down in Wolfsburg that are really monitoring the trends. I think we know that assisted driving is obviously one of the key features. So we're working very far into the future. This car actually features this augmented reality heads-up display, which is super cool from a navigation perspective. It feels like you're kind of almost navigating in 3D. It's kind of pointing out the corner up front. The driver assist features, I think, in these cars also are superior and significantly enhanced. We're getting to the point where you're almost, not quite at autonomous driving, but we sure as hell are getting there pretty quickly. This car also obviously features a host of these driving features. And then, as we know, over-the-air updates, able to seamlessly pair your phone. Kind of the car almost being an extension of you and your cocoon or your life stage. This is obviously quite critical for us. So we've got a whole host of technology and engineers down in Wolfsburg that are really focusing on the whole digitalization, focusing on the technologies in the car, and they're beavering away behind the scenes to make sure that we're up to date and relevant when these cars come to market. We have been producing cars, and high quality cars and safe cars, for many years. So although you're probably right when it comes to battery cell technology, when it comes to a lot of the infotainment related topics, I think you are right. I think the playing field is a lot more even than when we were working on gasoline engines and good transmissions and PDK and DSG transmissions and all those kind of things. So from that perspective, I think the playing field is a lot more even. But we have produced high quality, very safe vehicles for many years. And we've also got an extensive dealer network here in the United States, so 650 dealers. So we still have that high ground, if you ask me, from my point of view. But for sure, I think in terms of battery technology, in terms of what's under the skin, it is a little bit more of a playing field. I would agree with that. Very exciting, very exciting. I think, we've spoken about it internally. You go back to the era of the old 60s Beetle, where really we kind of were, we broke the trend, or we created a trend to a certain degree. We said smaller is better. So to kind of be almost at the forefront again of a new leading edge kind of era, I think for us is super exciting. We want to lead. We want to be the first. We want to be, as I think many folks have said, an EV for the millions and not the millionaires. And I think our first SUV that'll come, I think you will be pleasantly surprised in terms of the price point. And also we believe that's kind of a no compromise car. We believe really that might be the real first SUV that can practically seat a family of 5 with ample space and can be affordable to the mass market. The transition, quite honestly, in the VW group has come quite quickly. I mean, I think if you go back 2-3 years, there was kind of this pledge to say, hey, this is the way we're going. And in normal VW terms, you know, we're a company that engineers cars over a very long period of time. So to see this transition in very short time and to see these cars coming to market, ID3 already launched in Europe, and to know that our first mass electric car is kind of just like almost a year away, is for us super, super, super exciting. There's a lot of exciting times back at our headquarters in Herndon, because we're obviously trying to ramp up 650 dealers to get ready to sell these things. That doesn't just happen overnight. People need to be trained, you know, they need to tool up, they need to man up. So we got a lot of work to do before the car hits the market, but we got a very competent dealer network, so we're very excited, and also very extensive charging infrastructure with Electrify America. So we're very excited, and we really think it now makes sense. I think a lot of folk, when considering EVs, are like, yeah, does it make sense? Does it not make sense? And I think as soon as you start getting over 250 miles, you have a decent charging infrastructure, you've got dealers, reliable dealers who can service and manage these cars, I think it now starts to make sense. I think it's going to take 2 waves. I mean, the first education probably is very verbal, spending time around the car and really explaining to the customer that a lot of these compromises that used to be associated with electric vehicle cars are no longer there. The ranges are significantly higher than the first gen electric cars. The charging infrastructure across the United States, fast charging infrastructure, has ramped up enormously. So this fear that I can't travel with an EV anymore is also kind of out the window now. The cars are looking good. I think maybe arguably some of the older EVs were a little bit strange maybe in terms of design. I mean, have a look at this thing behind you, that's really spectacular. So I think that'll be phase 1. Phase 2, I believe, is trying to really spend time in the car and really letting the customer experience what it's like to drive an EV. I don't think many customers understand that you got instantaneous torque and what that feels like from a driving perspective. A lot of people think, well, EVs might be boring. They're fast as hell. So this is, I think, the second point, is really to get the customers bums in seats. And this is something we're going to do in our rollout next year. We will have a fleet of cars. We will go across America, and we're going to let customers experience the car and see what it's like living with an EV. Living with an EV, I think, over a period of 2 to 3 days is really where that range anxiety goes, and you realize, hey, this is actually super cool. I don't have to visit a gas pump. I can charge this thing at home. And you know what? I thought I was going to charge it every night, but I'm actually only charging it every 4 days. So I think living with a car and getting bums into seats is going to be the most critical element.